Hey, what's going on, everyone? You are now listening to Resilience in Action with Erin Brown. What's going on, everyone? This is Resilience in Action with Erin Brown, and it's me, your host, Erin Brown. Listen, today we are here to talk about the value method. The value method is a 5-step program, a 5-step system that will literally help you have a greater human experience. I came up with the value method about 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Um, I went to see Damon John. He was doing he had an event in Lynchburg at the University of Lynchburg, and I attended, and he gave his speech, and it was really, really influential, and really, he shared so much valuable information. On my drive home, that was in Lynchburg, Virginia. I had to drive back to West Virginia. So on my drive home, I was just like so inspired, so motivated. And I was thinking of like ways that I could come up with an acronym that would literally help people just be better, to do better in every step of the way, every step of your process, no matter where you are in your life. The value method is literally here to help you and to guide you and to help get you to where you want to be. So I went to bed, and I had a dream of like the value method, the V, the A, the L, the U, the E, like what it all meant and how I was going to implement it. And I woke up the next day, and I lied to you not. I sat at my computer for 5 hours. I was just typing it up, right? And the way it was coming was like, it was like coming from outside of my body. Like the information was coming to me, the stories that I share in the book, the systems and the strategies, everything. It was like an outer body experience. Um, so fast forward to December of last year, I finally published it. After sitting on it for so many years, I finally published it. And the level of excitement, because listen, it wasn't the fact that I didn't know about the information that was inside this. I knew for sure that the information within this book, within these pages, within I think 45 pages, was valuable, and it could benefit any and every one. This is not a niche book. This book will benefit everyone. Um, it was the simple fact that I had issues with uploading it to Amazon KDP. I had so much frustration that I just packed it up and I put it away for years. I put it away for like 2 years. And then one day I went to Barnes and Noble and I sat down. I said, you know what? I am going to figure this out. I have to, because there's people out there that really need this information, and they're not getting it because I'm dragging my feet. I'm procrastinating. I'm not doing what I know I need to be doing to get this book out. So I sat at Barnes and Noble and figured it out within 20 minutes. What took me like 2 years to figure out, I figured it out in 20 minutes. Right. So like the information is here, right? I'm gonna start with a V. I'm gonna start with the V. Obviously, there's like an introduction and a welcome. You know, I just want to let you know from jump that this book will help you, but you have to help yourself first. You have to be willing to do the work. There's worksheets in here. There's little assignments and everything within this tiny book. I call it like a little, like a manual, like a guide. It's the brightness and the white is giving it crazy. But if I hold it like that, the value method, right? This will work, but you have to work with it. You have to put in the work. This is, it's not, you're not just gonna wake up and manifest it. Like, you have to do the work. So the V in value is vision. Getting some understanding of where it is you want to go, right? So basically that V for your vision, that's where we're going to create the map. of where it is that you're trying to go. Vision. The V stands for vision. I'm going to read it verbatim right from the book. The V stands for vision. What is the goal and or mission you want to achieve? What is a reasonable time frame for you to give yourself to achieve the goal and or mission? You will wander aimlessly through life without a clear vision of where you want to be in the future and who you want to become along that journey. So the V, that is going to help you really, really narrow down where it is you want to go, who it is you want to become on a journey, right? Where you're going, how you get there, the mode of transportation, and all that good stuff. The A is for audit. And this is probably one of the most important steps in this system, is that audit. You're going to do an internal audit and an external audit. I'll start with the external audit because that one is basic. That one is simple. So your external audit is basically, you're going to audit who you're around. You're going to audit your environment. Are you in an environment that is beneficial? Is it helpful or is it harmful to you? Do you surround yourself with people who are benefiting you? Are they giving you information and providing you with a level of influence? Are they holding you to a certain standard, or are they yes men or yes women, or are they negative Nancy's and Debbie Downers, and they're always constantly, just sharing horrible things like fight videos and stuff on social media? Also, what you're listening to, like all of that goes into the external audit. So your internal audit is going to be who you are. Now it's time to look in the mirror, right? And I went like this, like there was a mirror back there. Hey, I don't know. But this is very important, because when you think of your orbit, right? Who's at the center of your orbit? You are. That's why it's so important. A lot of people want to do that external audit and hold everyone else accountable, but they don't want to hold themselves accountable, right? You don't want to hold yourself to a higher standard, which you should be doing. So you need to make sure you're feeding your mind the right stuff, feeding your body the right stuff. We want to make sure we're doing what we need to do for us to feel good on the inside. Hey, y'all. Listen, it is time for some action. If you are enjoying the content that you've been listening to, I need you to rate and review. That's it. That's all. Make sure you go to wherever you're listening to this podcast and rate and review it for us. We appreciate you so much. Let's get back to some resilience. Right? Are we like for the past 4 or 5 years, I think, for at least 30 minutes a day, I listen to some type of inspirational, educational, motivational content, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a book on Audible, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's a TED Talk. There is something that I'm listening to that's going to benefit me, right? That I'm learning from, that I can take and implement into my life to make it better, to ultimately have what we're all trying to have, right? A greater human experience, right? So that audit, that internal audit, is very, very important. What you feed your mind, what you're feeding your body. Are you working out? Are you hydrating? That water intake is very important. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you brushing your teeth every day, every night? Are you flossing? Do you have a skincare routine? What is your hair care regimen like? Like that, your internal audit is making sure that you're taking care of yourself from the inside out. Okay. So that is where that A comes in. That V is your vision. That A is your audit. Then we're going to go to L. The L is learning. One of my favorite acronyms is ABL. Always be learning, right? You should always be learning. You should always be learning something new, learning something that you can implement into your life, or learning something and turning around and sharing it with other people, right? one of my quotes that I came up with years ago, one of my favorite quotes to this day, is knowledge is like magic. It's great when you possess, but even greater when it's shared. Like it's it's everything. When you can learn something, you figured out how to implement it into your life and how to make your life better, and then you go turn around and share that with other people, right? Learning is very, very important. This is where you're going to master, right, what it is, that vision. This is where you're going to learn everything you need to know to bring that vision to life, right? And from the L, we go to the U, utilize, and this is utilizing the resources you have around you, right? Whether it's whether your vision, whether your goal, right, is to say your goal is to lose 10 pounds or gain 10 pounds, right? So when I think of utilizing the resources, I'm thinking of you connecting with people who have already done this, who have already been on this journey. So you can get information and valuable valuable information from them. You know, how did they do it? What steps did they use? What worked for them? What didn't work for them? Also understanding that your journeys are different, but it's always great. It's always good to be able to compare notes, right? And that's what the utilize is being able to realize that you have resources all around you. If you have a cell phone right here, if you have a cell phone, you can use this. Use it to your advantage. Everything you want is at the end of that, right? You can hop on YouTube and figure out how to change your oil or anything like that. So you utilize the resources around you. It is so important to understand that you have everything you need to accomplish that vision, to accomplish those goals, but you need to figure out how to get to that, right? And that's when those resources come into play. Excuse me. All right, so tap into your network. We all have a network, big, small, and we all should be growing our network. So tap into that network, and like I said, if you have a smartphone, Wi-Fi, sorry, give me 1 second. Smartphone, Wi-Fi, anything like that, you have the resources at your fingertips. So let's make sure we're using them. And then the last step in this process is the E. This is the energy. This is the enthusiasm that you're bringing. When you're showing high energy and you're showing high enthusiasm, it will attract those people into your orbit who appreciate you and celebrate your value. You see how I put it all back together, right? Your value, what it is, you bring to the table, and they'll appreciate and understand your value because you know what yours is, right? In this book, The Value Method will help you learn, help you understand, or reintroduce you to who it is you want to be. It's going to get you to connect back to your rhythm, get your groove back, right? Or create a new groove. Either way you look at it, this book will benefit you, right? So you have your V, your vision. Your A, we're going to audit our circle, audit our orbit, audit internal and externally, okay? The L, always be learning. What is it that you need to learn? What is it that you need to master? On your vision, right? What steps do you need to take? What knowledge do you need to possess, right? Then you utilize the resources you have at your fingertips, cell phones, your network, anything like that. And that E, that energy, that enthusiasm that you're going to bring to your life and bring to the lives of others. And shout out to anyone who has this book already, because if you have this book, you already know there is a special bonus chapter in there. And I'm not going to get into it right here, right now. That's for a later episode, right? But just for those that know, that extra bonus chapter, I actually already kind of touched on it in one of my other steps. So if you have this book, You already know what I'm talking about. If you don't have this book, you need to get it. I will absolutely put the Amazon information in the show notes so you can get your hands on your own copy. Or better yet, if you want your own copy, like, comment, share, rate, review, subscribe. Give me any type of information, any type of signal that you've watched this episode, and I'll send you a signed copy. Send it right to you. Send me an email. And you know my email is always in the show notes. So send me an email. I'll make sure you get your signed copy. And as always, resilience in action will always lead us to a greater human experience. We'll talk soon. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Resilience in Action with Erin Brown. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to rate, review, and subscribe. And I want you to remember one thing: resilience in action will always lead to a greater human experience.